Welcome, crypto fam, to the number one daily Bitcoin pod. Bitcoin still doing its thing, maintaining at around $72,000. In today's show, I'll be sharing the latest Bitcoin technical analysis. Also, breaking news, Microsoft shareholders have officially begun voting on whether the company should invest in Bitcoin. This is a big deal. Let's not forget Vanguard and BlackRock are the primary shareholders of Microsoft, so there's a very high probability of them adopting Bitcoin. Also, quoting Max Kaiser, no supply over 74,000. We'll see a gap to 100,000, then a swift trip to 200,000 per BTC. Send it. I'm also going to be sharing with you 5 metrics suggesting right now the Bitcoin price will break all-time highs, which we just touched yesterday, which we captured on stream. We'll also be discussing BlackRock Bitcoin ETF breaks a whopping $30 billion as US ETF set to hit 1 million BTC holdings. Also breaking news for the state of Florida, their official wants Bitcoin included in their state pension funds. Bitcoin game theory in full effect. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin well positioned to hit 100,000 by January, according to 10x research. I'll be breaking down this analysis, as well as the US dollar doesn't need to collapse for Bitcoin to reach between 200 and 400,000 per coin, according to the Bitwise executive. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. If you're new to the channel, very important to smash the likes. Go ahead and subscribe, then hit the bell icon. Turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every day, just like this. Today is pod episode 1803. I'm your host, JV. It's October 30th, 2024, and tomorrow is the Bitcoin white paper birthday, same day as Halloween. October has been in full swing. We did touch the all-time high of roughly 73.6 just the other day. We're maintaining above 72. Make some noise for that. Let's kick it off with our market watch. A bit of a corrective move after tapping 73.6. You can see Bitcoin down 0.5%, but maintaining above 72,100. Over on Coin360, Ether is trading just shy of 2,700, barely in the green. We got BNB, Ton, and Solana correcting and in the red. And checking out CoinMarketCap.com. We're sitting on a $2.43 trillion market cap. We got 102 billion worth of volume past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance has been on the climb at 58.69%. The Ether dominance barely climbing back at 13.3% after bottoming at 13% the other day. And checking out top 100 crypto gainers past 24 hours. We got Maker up 11%, Core up 6%, and Lido Dow up 5%. And let's take a quick break to acknowledge Dankness. Greatly appreciate the super brother. That's super number 4. Our goal on today's podcast is 10 supers within the first hour. And then as a prize, we'll do a special pump watch for you guys. So this gong's for you, brother. Keep the supers a coming, and thank you again. You the man, Dankness. Much appreciate you. But yeah, you also have Chainlink up 4.5%, Mantra up 4%. Let me know which alts you're most bullish on for the bull. And checking out the crypto bubbles, you get a visual perspective on the day. As you can see, I'd say 50% in the green, 50% in the red. Pretty mixed bag on the daily. And zooming out on the monthly, we got, I would say, 70% in the red, 30% in the green. And checking out the crypto greed for index today, we're finally in extreme greed. It's been a minute. It's a 77. Yesterday a 72. Last week a 71. And last month a 61 in greed. And checking out the time chain calendar, we currently have 181,889 blocks to go into the next halving of 2028, and we're currently on block 868,111. But you can probably get roughly 1,300 to 1,400 Satoshis. Yeah, there we go. 1,388 per dollar at today's exchange. So stack sats accordingly. And there you go. Keep the comments flowing. Let's dive into today's technical analysis, aka astrology for the broskies. We'll also pull up some of the live charts. Headline reads, Bitcoin price at 68,000 euro all-time high. Also, we hit 100 $110,000, I believe, Australian dollars yesterday for one Bitcoin, and we broke 100,000 Canadian dollars. You know what I mean? As Bitcoin bull eyes, gold next. We're coming. And quick shout out to Muhammad. I appreciate the super. We're getting so close to hitting the goal. We already have 8 supers within the first 15 minutes of the stream. This gong's for you, Muhammad. Let's go. But anyways, family, let's continue. So yeah, check this out. Bitcoin reached an all-time high in euros as the latest Bitcoin price breakout gathers speed. And in fact, we actually tapped the all-time high because on every exchange, the all-time high is a little different. Some of the exchanges, the all-time high for Bitcoin that we hit mid-March is 73.6. Some exchanges were 73.8. Well, we hit 73.6 yesterday, so we just retouched it, which is pretty lit. Quoting analyst Turda Meester here, the 350 million citizens of the Eurozone just experienced a new all-time high for the biddy. Bada boom, bada bing. The euro is just one of the major world currencies now at all-time lows in Bitcoin terms. Are you surprised? Others include the Australian dollar, the Canadian dollar, alongside unfamiliar names such as the Turkish lira. How many Turkish lira can you get for one Bitcoin right now? Probably a quadrillion. But anyways, the Eurozone's recent history concerning Bitcoin has become synonymous with hostility, thanks to repeated criticism from the infamous ECB. The ECB's latest paper garnered scorn and even ridiculed the crypto community, which considered its findings illegitimate. Quoting Demeester here, this new paper is a true declaration of war. Preach. The ECB claims that early Bitcoin adopters steal economic value from the latecomers. I strongly believe the authorities will use this, is that Luddite argument to enact harsh taxes or bans. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. That's precisely with administrations such as the Harris administration would do. They'll tax the hell out of you and declare war on crypto. Let's not forget who put Senator Warren and Gary Gensler in power. You feel me? But I digress. In addition to seeking the new dollar all-time high, the largest crypto has yet to clinch a definitive breakout against gold. But we're getting inching closer, yo. This is the heavyweight division. Introducing first, out of the blue corner, battle against fiat depreciation. Bitcoin remains below the March 2024 high and double highs of 2021. Bitcoin has made no progress in 42 months. Against gold, what is gold sitting at? Like $2,789. That's the all-time high achieved October 29th yesterday. Wow, almost $2,800 an ounce. And you know, Peter Schiffmeister is probably doing backflips in his mom's basement. You know what I mean? And this is the chart. I believe XAU, is that the Australian dollar? No, that's gold, my bad. So this is gold versus US dollar 1 month chart. And you can see gold is rising against the dollar as well. And I see a couple of more supers came in. We just hit number 10. So give me a second to read a couple more of the headlines and then I'll shout you guys out. And I appreciate it. We reached our goal in literally 18 minutes. You guys are phenomenal. But yeah, breaking news. Microsoft shareholders have begun voting on whether the company should invest in Bitcoin. This is a big deal because there's hundreds of millions, billions of dollars of cash that they have access to. Now, if they were to adopt Bitcoin, that's massive. That's like an Apple or like a Facebook or like an Amazon adopting Bitcoin. Now, also, I like to throw out there, the primary shareholder of Microsoft is Vanguard. They own 9%. And of course, BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, is the second largest shareholder. They have their hands in everything. So BlackRock, extremely bullish on Bitcoin. They have over $30 billion worth of Bitcoin from their ETF. So there's a very high probability of them adopting this. So that could be pretty massive. And quoting the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Kaiser, no supply over 74 Gs will gap to 100,000 in a swift trip to 200 Gs. Send it and let's go. In other breaking news, Cantor Fitzgerald, the billionaire CEO, Howard Lutnick, explains how he has hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars of exposure into Bitcoin, and it'll soon be billions. He says every time Bitcoin dips, I'm going to be the buyer. And in other big news, this is interesting, Russian court fines Google 20 decillion, an amount greater than all the money in the world. How many commas? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. A number so big I've never even heard of a decillion. But heck, Russia ain't no joke. Gangsta. But there you have it. But yeah, let's pull up some of the live charts and check out what's popping right now. This is the 1 hour chart live and on your screen via Coinbase, via TradingView. As you can see, we're ultimately just above 72,100. We're going to zoom out from the 1 hour. We're going to check out the 4 hour, which is one of my favorite charts. Always looking lit. We have a bullish pennant formation. We do have two bullish targets, one in the blue at 81.3. And yeah, we have a bullish pennant at 78.8. And that can happen very soon, considering we're less than a week away from the election date of November 5th. So a lot of bullish sentiment in the market. In fact, our next story, I'm going to describe to you the 5 very bullish indicators right now. But here's the daily chart. As you can see in your screen, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 green consecutive daily candle closes, finally correcting just a little bit after inching so higher over the past few days. We do have a bear target on the radar, but who cares about the bears? I'm not even entertaining those targets any longer. We're going to check out the 1 week, which we have that sexy cup and handle target, which is sitting at 124,000 on the weekly chart, which I believe is in play for Q4. Let me know if you guys agree, disagree. And zooming out from here, we'll take a quick glimpse of the monthly chart, which shows us, September and October have not disappointed, and November and December right around the corner. Let's continue with some of the headlines. Our next story, let's discuss the 5 bullish metrics right now, suggesting all-time highs in play. Optimism around the upcoming U.S. election 6 days out, massive inflows into the spot Bitcoin ETFs, and several technical and on-chain indicators suggest the Bitcoin price is on the path to new all-time highs. Here you're looking at the daily chart, looking pretty lit. A Trump win could send the Bitty price to 100 G's. And how many of you think Trump will win and ultimately summon the Trump bump? Let me know. Clearly killing it over on Polymarket, the largest bet maker for, this particular bet. I think he's up to 67% when I checked this morning. Obviously, Harris is anti-crypto. She's the one who put, her and her Biden administration, Senator Warren and Gary the Worm Gensler, in play. So I don't trust anything they say. They want to change their stance. And according to the XRP co-founder Larson, Harris, she's going to be so pro-crypto. You have no idea. I don't trust you. I don't trust bankers. And I sure as hell don't trust their pathetic administration, but that's just me. I know I'm preaching to the choir. Let me know your thoughts. Trump is leading with a 67% chance of winning the November 5th presidential election versus Democratic candidate Harris, who stood at 33%, according to data from Polymarket. Now, a possible Trump victory is stirring optimism in the market. Clearly, there's a lot of whales waiting to pump the Bitty as soon as Trump is elected president, because they know the policies are going to be pro-crypto, pro-Bitcoin. Quoting Finman here, if Trump wins, I believe Bitcoin could hit 100,000 during his second term. In fact, I believe Bitcoin will hit 100,000 this year in Q4. Let me know if you agree, family. Now, the other bullish factor, big spot Bitcoin ETF inflows return, which we'll dive into deeper a little later, because BlackRock just crossed the 30 billion milestone, and they're not slowing down. Far side investors show the total at 23 billion have come into the investment products since they began trading on Jan 11th. Grayscale continues to see the outflows, but that's to be expected. And ultimately, BlackRock's been picking up all those outflows. So, it's kind of outflowing at a GBTZ and entering IBIT via BlackRock, who's crushing it. And quoting Balchunas, IBIT traded 3.3 billion today, the biggest number in 6 months, which is a bit odd because Bitcoin was up 4%. And occasionally the volume can spike if there is a FOMOing frenzy. Given the surge in the past few days, my guess is this is the latter, which means look for more big inflows this week. I agree with the man. Now, Ecoinometrics wrote, if you're looking for a reason why Bitcoin could push higher, this is it, which is the strongest Bitcoin ETF inflows since March. So you already know, and they're not going to slow down. Next bullish indicator, Bitcoin short-term hodler SOPR flips bullish. That's right. Market intelligence firm of CryptoQuant shares that the short-term hodler spent output profit ratio, which is the SOPR metric, reveals that despite short-term hodlers returning to profit, they are not overheating, which is another bullish indicator. Quoting them here, if the price of the Bitcoin surpasses the point high and the short-term hodler SOPR value continues to spike, we could see a start of a full-blown rally. Send it. Hyper-Bitcoinization. I'm ready. Next bullish factor, record high Bitcoin Open interest reaffirms the uptrend. They tricked me here because they put IO instead of OI. Almost threw JV off, but thank God I'm too sharp to fall victim to that. Bitcoin futures open interest recorded their biggest one-day jump since June 3rd, rising over 20,000 BTC. We're at $2.5 billion at the current prices, reaching almost 600,000 BTC, which is $41 billion. That's pretty wild. Open interest refers to the total number of the outstanding derivative contracts that have not yet been settled. And quoting Crypto Quant, Bitcoin is near a fresh all-time high. From a valuation perspective, 84,000 would be the next target, which is the upper band. Next bullish indicator, Bitcoin technical show a breakout is underway. I'll repeat that again. A Bitcoin breakout is underway. One analyst suggests 91,362. Can we just round up to 100 G's so we can have our 100K fiesta here in Puerto Rico, please? Just saying. Can you see the pump being a 27% from the current price action as the analyst suggests? Let me know. Here's the latest with BlackRock. I mean, this is wild. Their Bitcoin ETF breaks $30 billion. It just went live in January, yo. US ETF set to hit 1 million milestone. All in play here soon. BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF, IBIT, surpassed 30 billion in holdings, reflecting increasing demand from the biddy. The world's largest asset manager reached the 30 billion mark less than 10 months after launching the Bitcoin ETF, which began trading January 11th. I don't know why it says the 10th, I believe, because I remember because I do a show every day. January 10th is when it got the green light from the SEC, and January 11th was the official trading day. I can't forget because 11 is a very profound number to me. But anyways, BlackRock currently holds more than 417,000 of the biddy, worth over $30.4 billion at today's valuation, according to the data. That's right. The Bitcoin ETF inflows have been increasing ahead of the U.S. presidential election, 6 days out, November 5th. Make some noise for that. On October 29th, the Bitcoin ETFs generated $870 million worth of cumulative net inflows. That's almost $1 billion in a single day, marking the second highest day of inflows since March 12th, when the ETFs accumulated more than $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, according to the Farside data. Now, the 30 billion milestone marks an all-time record for ETFs in general, according to Eric Balchunas, the senior ETF analyst over at Bloomberg, quoting him here. It hit this milestone in just 293 days, an all-time record. An all record was JEPI, which did it in 1,272 days. Damn. That's like 4 times faster if you do the math. GLD took 1,790 days. Unreal, yo. I mean, numbers don't lie. Check the scoreboard, fam. Growing ETF inflows may help the Bitcoin price reach all-time high by February 15th, just 1 month after they launched. Now, US-based spot Bitcoin ETFs accounted for 75% of new investment into Bitcoin, pushing the price past that historical 50,000 level, which we achieved on February 12th. And I remember it because it was the day after my birthday on February 11th. And we witnessed it live on the stream. How many of you were here? Let me know. I got to correct these inaccuracies from these articles. Bitcoin ETFs are on track to reach a significant milestone within the next 24 hours, potentially surpassing a cumulative 1 million Bitcoin, valued at 71 billion, yo. Balchunas noted the ETFs currently hold about 996,000 Bitcoin. They're so close. Saying there is a good chance to pass 1 million today. Send it. I'll hit the gong for that. 1 million BTC in the ETF. That's roughly 5% of the Bitcoin circulating supply. Gonga, gonga, gong, gong. Now, here are the top Bitcoin hodlers in the world. Satoshi's wallets, 1.1 million. Binance, 667,000 biddies. BlackRock, 417,000 biddies. Grayscale, 254,000. MicroStrategy, 252,000. U.S. government, 203,000. And the Chinese government, 194,000 biddies. This could make the Bitcoin ETFs the world's largest Bitcoin holders as soon as this November, or I should say November, surpassing Satoshi's wallet, which holds 1.1 million of the biddy. Now, increasingly more analysts are predicting a new record high. Of course we are. Bitfinex analysts foresee a Bitcoin rally to 80 Gs before the end of the year. Easy peasy, says JV. Driven by the options market structure and the prospect of a Republican presidential victory by a guy by the name of Trump. Now pump Trump. Pump the Trump, pump it up. Despite the optimistic inflow, some analysts say the current Bitcoin rally is a Trump hedge, lacking the fundamental macroeconomic conditions to push Bitcoin to all-time high. I think that's some BS. Naturally, a Trump pump is only going to help pump Bitcoin, but there's so many bullish macroeconomic factors, it's not even funny. We already discussed the 5 bullish metrics, from the Bitcoin ETFs and so on. So you already know, yo. So yeah, here's a big headline right here. Florida official wants Bitcoin included in the state pension funds. Let's freaking go. Florida Chief Financial Officer Jimmy Patronis, shout out Jimmy, my man, wants the agency that manages the state's retirement funds to consider investing in Bitcoin. Smart move, brother. Joining a growing number of American states adding crypto to the portfolio. That's right. We have game theory in full effect. Quoting Chris Spencer, the Florida State Board of Administrators Executive Director, whatever. Bitcoin is often called digital gold, and it could help diversify the state's portfolio and provide a secure hedge against the volatility of other major asset classes, is what he wrote in a letter yesterday. Patronis' letter urges the SBA to provide a report on the feasibility, risks, and potential benefits of directing a portion of state retirement system monies into digital asset classes, and to do so before the next legislation session. Well, let's just say Bitcoin, because that's your best bet. Yeah, I mean, hence it's digital gold. Now, this is scheduled for March 4th, so that would be still in the first quarter of 2025. Quoting Jimmy Patronis here, there's no telling what the future of crypto will be, but Florida must stay ahead of the curve and on getting the best returns for Floridians. Today, I sent the letter to the Florida SBA suggesting a report on digital currencies. So shout out Jimmy. Well done, brother. Florida's SBA manages over 30 funds, including the Florida Retirement System Trust Fund, which has about, $205 billion in assets under management. Good Lord. As of September 30th, imagine that going into Bitcoin. Bring it. In his letter, Patronis suggested SBA can create a digital currency investment pilot program as part of the Florida Growth Fund. This fund is allowed to use up to 1.5% of the Florida Retirement System Trust Fund and has invested $998 million, practically $1 billion, into high growth investments between 2022 and 2023, according to the report in January. Quoting Patronis again, when managing state pensions for firefighters, teachers, and police officers, it is also essential to prioritize the bottom line and ensure the best return on investment for Floridians. This is where the potential of investing in a crypto like Bitcoin becomes particularly compelling. Well said. The executive also said that the move would align with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' recent effort to block CBDCs, noting that crypto is the antithesis of central currency. That's right. It's the antidote to the CBDCs because Bitcoin separates the money from the state, and a CBDC is money from the state. So if Florida decides to invest in crypto, it would join states like Wisconsin and Michigan, which have added crypto assets to their respective state retirement funds. In May, the state of Wisconsin Investment Board reported it invested $164 million in spot Bitcoin ETFs offered by Grayscale and BlackRock, with the crypto play amounting to about 0.1% of the total assets under management. Months later, in July, the state of Michigan retirement system also disclosed an investment into Bitcoin with 110,000 shares and ARC21 shares ETF at 0.003% of its assets under management. Now, those are obviously rookie numbers. We can do a lot better than 0.003% allocation. Let's get that mofo to 3%, 30%. Yeah, I mean, 99%. There's no such thing as being overly bullish on the biddy. Ask Mikey Saylor. But let's continue with the news. We discussed the latest with Florida adopting the biddy. Now let's discuss this 100,000 target. Then we'll discuss a 200 to 400,000 target as per the Bitwise executive. And then we'll tap into our live Q&A. And then we'll hit you with a little bonus pump watch action, Jackson, for you guys. So yeah, this headline reads, Bitcoin well positioned to hit 100,000 by January 2025, according to the 10X research. Current market trends and upcoming global events may spike the market price of the biddy to 100,000 by January 2025, according to 10X. Their research prediction for the 100,000 biddy price target based on its model that recently triggered 2 buy signals, the most recent being on October 14th, and its prediction model has a track record of 86.7% accuracy based on the last 15 signals. So there you go. The researchers explain their reasoning for the optimistic Bitcoin prediction, quoting them here. When Bitcoin sets a new 6-month high for the first time in 6 months, like it did recently, we typically see a median return of 40% over the next 3 months. Considering these calculations, a 40% jump from the current market price of 73 will push the biddy to 101,000 by January 27, 2025. 101 Dalmatians. Here you go. Bitcoin buy signal, October 14th. You can see here the chart from 10x Research. And after another factor supporting the theory that Bitcoin black hole effect implying increasing Bitcoin dominance is pulling the value away from the alts, which we're witnessing. That's right, as Bitcoin dominance continues to climb. And in addition, institutional investors such as BlackRock perceive Bitcoin as a long-term stable asset or digital gold. Quoting the 10x report again, gold has always been as a safe haven asset, so if Bitcoin is the new digital gold, it makes sense institutions would be interested. The spot Bitcoin ETFs market brought in $4.1 billion worth of the biddy in October alone. And moreover, the general crypto investor also sees value in holding Bitcoin for the long term. As shown here, the spot Bitcoin ETF monthly flows hitting crazy numbers, unprecedented. Now, the substantial investments into the biddy have lifted stock prices of Bitcoin mining companies, a correlation previously predicted as well by 10x. 10x Research also predicted a Trump pump would win the 2024 U.S. presidential election, which could positively impact, obviously, the crypto market, as Trump went out saying some very bullish things, such as he wants to make the United States of America Bitcoin mining hub of the world. He said he wants to free Ross Ulbricht, let me pronounce that correctly. He also said he would fire Gary Gensler, chairman of the SEC, on day one. You're fired, Gary. That alone is worth a Trump victory. I'm just saying. He also said he'll stockpile the biddy for the United States and that they wouldn't sell. So let's go. Now for our feature story of the day. The US dollar doesn't need to collapse for Bitcoin to reach 200,000 per coin, according to the Bitwise executive. And he also says and shares how Bitcoin could hit 400,000 per coin. So let's break this one down. Welcome everyone joining the stream. Growing investment in store value assets and continued fiat currency devaluation could propel the price of the biddy to six figures without the need for the US dollar to collapse, according to the Bitwise chief investment officer, Matt Hougan. That's right. On a post October 29th, he addressed the question he received from a financial advisor asking whether Bitcoin could reach 200,000 without a U.S. currency collapse. Quoting him here, when you invest in Bitcoin, you're actually making two bets at once, he shared. Bitcoin will succeed in establishing itself as a new store of value asset, while governments will continue to abuse fiat currencies, something that will naturally result in increased demand for hard assets, like the biddy. Hougan said that while two arguments addressed the original question, they were separate points with potential price outcomes. Bitcoin's total market cap of 1.4 trillion is currently around 7 to 8% of gold's 18 trillion market cap. Wow, the market cap of gold is all the way up to 18 trillion now. But Hougan said that Bitcoin can mature and become worth about half of gold's total value, making one Bitcoin worth roughly 400,000 per coin. Easy peasy. He added that because governments are currently abusing, you could say that again, their control over the supply of fiat currencies through money printing, money printer go burr, more investors will be inclined to own store value assets, naturally. If Bitcoin just holds a 7% share relative to gold and demand for Bitcoin alone triples, each Bitcoin will be worth 200,000 per coin. Now, what if we were to get 14% share relative to gold? That's 400,000 per coin. Now, importantly, these arguments compound. Keep that in mind. If Bitcoin matures and the store value market doubles, you quickly get to seven figures. That's a seven-figure biddy, baby. Quoting him here, I think this is the most likely scenario eventually. And demand, naturally, for more traditional store value assets has risen sharply amid increasing global economic uncertainty and growing geopolitical tension in the Middle East, with gold prices notching a new all-time high of $2,778 per ounce October 29th. Additionally, continued dollar devaluation will likely form a core part of the U.S. industrial policy, according to an October 29th report by institutional investors news outlet Financial Sense. In the report, economists Mark and Ian argued that the U.S. needs a robust industrial policy to compete in the global economy, particularly against China. And I can call it China because I used to live there. Such a policy should include support for new tech, protection against subsidized competition, and a concerted effort in lowering the value of the dollar. I mean, look at the dollar's purchasing power. They say numbers don't lie. This chart don't lie, yo. I mean, look, since, what is that, 1920 or 1913, what $1 bought you? 30 Hershey chocolate bars in 1913. Now, when JV was a kid, my father used to take me to the convenience store, like at the gas station, and I used to get 4 candy bars for $1, ultimately meaning it was 25 cents, 1/4 per candy bar. In Puerto Rico, I went to the gas station a couple of days ago and filled up, and I looked at the candy bars, $3 per bar, and that's for the normal size. You want a king size? $5. Let that sink in. Now, in 2008, $1.20 gets you 2 lemons. And in 2020, $1 gets you a McDonald's coffee. And soon it's going to cost you $10 for that Mick whatever you buy. Anyways, several market commentators have said Bitcoin is poised to reach an all-time high in the coming weeks. In fact, we just tapped all-time high level the other day. And I think we're about to break out, surpass 80,000, which would be a new all-time high with adjustment for inflation, because we achieved that 73.8 level back in March, and the dollar continues to lose purchasing power naturally, and it will just continue to do so. There's a mathematical guarantee as they continue to print the dollar. And on the other side of that coin, pun intended, the Bitcoin. Bitcoin's mathematically guaranteed to increase your purchasing power. So look at the charts. Bitcoin's been on a 15-year bull run. It's not slowing down. Bitcoin white paper birthday is tomorrow on Halloween day. So make some noise for that.